Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Upper Tier Podcast, but it is international break, so it's Pro Wrestling Weekly. We are a day behind from our usual schedule because Darren said he wanted to come on. He was missing a bit of wrestling talk, although he'd be in the comments and in the chat. So we're going to have a real good night tonight. We're going to have a bit of crack back and forth. We're going to be talking about WrestleMania 40 card. We're going to be taking a look back at 30 years on since the ladder match at WrestleMania 10. And we're going to be talking about, we're going to be asking you a lot in the chat as well tonight. We're going to be discussing Sting versus The Undertaker and our thoughts on that. But before we get into it, of course, Darren, how are you, my friend? Welcome to the ring. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
It's good to be back, pal. It's good to be back. I have missed this, I must say. It just, you know yourself, we've talked about this. I wrestling is absolutely up there for me, you know, with football and stuff like that, but the schedule just doesn't work for me at the minute. Hopefully, you know, maybe when things change around a little bit, I'll be able to give a bit more time on the Wednesdays, but I absolutely love my wrestling chat. You know, we talk all day about wrestling. All day. Absolutely. You feel phone calls first thing in the morning when I've been watching wrestling during the night and I'm like, Niall, did you see what happened last night? Did you? And you're like, Dazzler, I haven't even watched it yet. Let's slow down there. And I want to have a full-on fucking debate about this, that, and a brand new hat or whatever, you know. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we normally ease each other's drive home and into work.
We do.
By chatting all things wrestling, so it's all good from that point of view. Let's get into the chat first of all before we start. We'll do a few things. Michael Vasquez was in very early. Thanks for uploading this video. It will be up and starting now live, Michael. Michael was in the chat from half one this afternoon. There, nice. So hopefully he's catching us live anyway. What's the crack, Eno? How are you playing today? Eno wants the EVPs gone, the whole lot shooting match all gone. He wishes Cody Rhodes would just finish the effing story. We love you, Cody. We love you. We do. Romy One Kenobi is in. It's time for some wrestling. It is. We've been talking football too much, haven't we?
Absolutely.
And read our mind. Ronda Rousey's autobiography will be interesting. It will. We'll be talking about a number of books tonight. Romy One Kenobi, oh yeah, Acers, she will go all in on Pritchard and Vince. I can tell you, I have quotes of exactly what she is saying. CEO, highest selling merchandise on pro wrestling tees. I don't know whether that is an indication of
the morons that buy stuff from pro wrestling tees, or that doesn't say she's. Excuse me. Don't forget, none of the WWE superstars can sell stuff on pro wrestling tees. So, you know, she'd probably be selling 50 fucking t-shirts a week, and that's enough to get her to the top of the charts of the pro wrestling tees list.
I don't know. There's always an initial bump there anyway, and it just happens. But it'll be interesting to see what happens now. Say when we look back in a month.
I think the dump happened on her hair. From the looks of it, it doesn't look great. I think maybe.
Was she the NDA?
We're off.
Was she the NDA? Was she? Romy One Kenobi said, Darren, you're not going to want to hear this. I've lost interest in the Rocky. Just bores me now.
You're joking me.
You're joking. Contrasting opinions.
Jesus.
Daz, what's the crack? Niall and Dazzler, all good. Sean's
hey,
in
Daz.
as well. How's tricks? Sean is in as always. Romy One Kenobi, Niall late like ECW paychecks. Not on me, pal. Not on me here. I'm in the hot seat. Normally 10 minutes before we go live.
The hand is up. The hand is up. My fault. No problem. I'll take that.
You all need to acknowledge your podcast chief. That's what it is. The Acers, the Iconics are rumored to be returning to WWE after WrestleMania 40. Please, hell no.
I had a little place in my heart for the Iconics. They were very funny, man.
Absolutely.
Very funny. Two smashing looking girls, yeah.
If they return Acers, go on.
Sorry. I had my mum out earlier on. We had to do a few little bits and pieces. And I dropped her back to the house and my brother was there. And I was playing a video from Instagram. And he just said he couldn't see who it was. And he just said, my God, doesn't she have such a fucking annoying voice? And I was like, now, listen, he's a little bit of an uppity fucker anyway, so I wouldn't take on him like that at heart. it was Mandy Rose, right? She's after having some accident. She hurt her knee, but don't worry, it's okay. The knee is okay. And she's rocking this fucking bikini. And I says, yeah, but listen, look, it doesn't matter what you look like or what you sound like. Once you look like that. And he looked, he says, is she deformed? I says, what? He says, is she deformed? I says,
she's deformed perfectly. She's deformed perfectly.
I said, no, she's not deformed. She's formed. Okay, that's... I says, in what fucking way? He said, well, you know, fucking state of her face. Look at the... It was at that point I said, take it easy, I'm off. Good luck.
Were you going out opening the front door to see who was queuing around the block for the brother, were you?
Listen, what a fucking horror show.
Romy One Kenobi's in. If they return Acers, I'm out. There we go. Sean is also in. OTT have all but confirmed that Nick Nemeth is coming to Scrapper Mania. Interesting. That'll be quite a wedge, I'd imagine. Richie's in. Coming up to my 5th month growing my beard. There we go.
Must be down to your ball bag, you know, is it?
It's not.
Is it not?
I was chatting to him today on video.
Right.
It's not. It's not exactly ZZ Top. It's not exactly Captain Caveman either, yeah. Acers, new WWE Coliseum Collection Hard Foundation set looks mint.
And don't forget, there is a chase version of that set. Because the initial version has the blue card, the chase version has the black card. But you don't know whether you get a regular or a chase until you slide open the screen.
There you go.
So it's a nice surprise for somebody, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't forget Mattel Creations, their reveal is tomorrow, 10:15 a.m. their time. Not sure whether they're 5 hours or 7 hours. I'm not too sure.
Today.
Was it today?
Well, it's the 21st and the 22nd. Because I got an email.
They've won today and won tomorrow. Because I seen the one saying that it's 10:15 tomorrow for WWE. So maybe I'm wrong now. Maybe they're doing 2.
I did get. Will you see? Okay, so hang on. I got an email here. It's the only reason I know.
I got the same one, I think.
Today, tune in to day 1 of the Mattel Creations revealed. Yeah. And then later on after that, we got another one which said, loving Mattel Creations revealed. We're not done yet. So it says Friday 22nd. Sorry. This is the first schedule I've seen. I'm with you now. So
10:15 a.m.
10:15 a.m. is 3:15 here in the afternoon.
That's WWE reveal. That's the WWE reveal. Yeah.
Well, we know one of them is the Punk Elite, right?
Yeah.
It's not an Ultimate Edition; it's an Elite. Because they've got Elite written under the script of the picture, and it's from his return at Survivor Series in the white T-shirt and the jeans and stuff. And it's going to be in some sort of a special edition box, in a singular box, because it's not going to be attached to a series or anything like that. So be a cool figure, like.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what else have I got? Sean's in. Niall, there's some Egypt on the right hand side of the screen. Might be something worth looking into. Some imposter for our Pro Wrestling Weekly show has arrived. And here, what's wrong with Pro Wrestling Tees? Absolutely nothing.
For scruffy little indie wannabes. They're
a lovely bunch of lads. Romy One Kenobi, Mercedes Monet has the cake that will give you diabetes. Baz is in. Evening, lads. What's the crack? Good on you, Baz. Good to see you, man. Jack's in. Evening, lads. Just wait until 50 minutes till the Misfits press conference. Interesting.
For another one on, is there?
They're on every couple of weeks now, aren't they? I think at this stage. Jesus. Keith's in. I think the perfect wrestler, in my opinion, to beat Gunther for the IC title would be Braun Breaker. It will help start his career, elevate to the main event spot. That's his evening, Jack. Jack is 8 subs away from 500. Sort the brother out.
Good man, Jack.
Kenobi. CM Punk back next week. I'm hyped. Add him to the set and drill match, I say. Yes, I've been playing WWE 2K24. It's buggy as fix up 2K. Don't play the game, so I couldn't comment on it, so I had no idea. The podcast effects are looking the business. Thanks, Eno.
Sure.
Thanks, Sean's in. If Mercedes was a cake, she'd be Colin the Caterpillar. Love it.
She wouldn't. She'd be Colin's fucking long lost cousin from Lidl or Aldi. Fucking Ludwig, the fucking whatever he's called. Fucking joke.
Absolutely. Well, just a little bit of news, folks. Don't forget to check out today. I dropped a review of Dark Side of the Ring, season 5, episode 3. Terry Gordy, final flight of the Freebird, or final flight.
Any good?
Freebird. Yeah, it's good, and it's kind of sad as well. Died at 40. Died at 40.
Is it gritty again or no?
No, it's not. It's not Dark Side. It's Sad Side. So won't give too much away.
I really do like the Dark Side ones. Do you?
You know, I like watching them, but I find them very hard to review. I generally have reviewed every Dark Side episode they've ever done since we started doing the wrestling podcast, and I struggle a lot with the murder ones and the paedophile ones and stuff like that. No, they're tough. They're tough to review. You know what I mean? It's not a comfortable conversation.
No,
you know?
Of course not. But there's still a conversation that has to be had, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Romy one can always say unplayable at times, Dazzler. There you go. Jack is in. The Misfits media workout yesterday was mad. Fatali tried to throw a bin at Modine. This is mad stuff that they do. It's just crazy. Ludwig the Leaf Hopper.
Yes, Sean.
Yeah. As Athers was saying, it's an emotional episode of Terry Bam Bam Gordy. It certainly is, and it's actually not this similar to Earthquakes. Funny enough.
And like I watched Earthquakes. Obviously, you were after telling me it was available on the platform, and I said, "Oh, I'll have a little peep at that." And like that, I kind of thought a little bit sad. A lot of stuff I didn't realize, you know, behind the scenes, obviously, and stuff like that. Just seemed like a really, really good, nice, sincere sort of a guy, and sad to see how his story went. You know. Well, obviously the gimmicks and the way things kind of fell for him. I mean, if he goes to WCW as Earthquake, he's possibly in with a shout.
There's so many parallels between this one and the Earthquake one.
Okay. Oh well, then maybe I'll watch it.
It's definitely worth a watch. And look, it's Freebirds and Von Erickson.
I was telling you this morning when we had our wrestling conversation. I was watching Survivor Series 89 last night. And in the what they used to do then was they'd show like clips from, you know, earlier on today when they'd be talking to each of the participants in the Survivor Series matches, and it broke to the Earthquake and Dino Bravo, and at that stage he was the Canadian Earthquake because he had the maple leaf in the middle and stuff. Right. Do you remember? Yeah. And he was with Dino Bravo, and they were, you know, I'm going, and I was like, this is fucking great. That is the stuff that just, as a kid, it just dragged me in. You know, like the first pay-per-view I ever saw was the Royal Rumble. It was the Royal Rumble that Hogan won.
Yep.
So it was 90, 91. 90, 91.
We had this chat before, didn't we? Yeah. Absolutely.
It was 90 or 91. The first pay-per-view we ever saw. A guy, my dad, I used to watch it. I used to watch the weekly shows on Sky, but we didn't have Sky Sports, which is where the pay-per-views were. And a guy in my dad's job used to tape the pay-per-view, and then he'd say, "Give that to your young flick," because he knew I was a fan. So once a month, my dad would come home from work with this piece of gold in his hand, which was a VHS with the pay-per-view on it, and I would watch that pay-per-view on loop for like 4 or 5 days, because, you know, you missed a little bit, and but just like stuff like Earthquake and Hogan was just gold, you know, just absolute gold. And I kind of think like he goes under the radar as well for some of the stuff he did initially with Hogan, because he built really good heat and stuff like that. But because maybe he didn't have the longevity, we forget about it and stuff like that. But he could have done really, really well. It was a shame, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think Hogan will have one, Niall, or Sting? I'm not too sure.
Don't think there could be. What would we see on Sting?
Yeah.
There wouldn't be much to have on Sting, would there? He's fairly whiter than white, isn't he?
I suppose it doesn't necessarily have to be something that throws shade on Sting, but it could be something that maybe looks at, you know, why he never felt like going to WWE and, maybe that kind of part of his career and stuff, that
Yeah,
kind
maybe.
of space or gap that's kind of there,
We know the Hogan one could be juicy as hell, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's a minimum two-parter.
Yeah,
Absolute bare
the
minimum.
problem with the Hogan one is they probably have to wait till he passes away
to get the footage and to have use of.
Well, the fact that he just does like an illegal lawsuit,
Yeah,
what I mean? So,
yeah,
unless Hogan's getting his chunk out of that, I don't think you're getting away with it too easy,
yeah.
UWF belt, Uno. Yeah. Sean, can't wait for the Sandman one. Yeah, interesting. Hope it
Another
doesn't.
interesting character.
Yeah, the only thing about them is if you know what worries me, when you're a fan of someone.
Yes.
And I would have been a fan of the Freebirds. I would have been a fan of Terry Gordy and the Von Erichs and all. So my fear is that when you go into one of these episodes, the guy you've been a fan of for 30, 40 years suddenly becomes a murderer or a domestic abuser.
What do they say? Don't meet your heroes.
Yeah, so that's always my fear going into it. Acers is in King's Court. There you go, King's Court.
Yeah.
He won 89 as well, Dazzler. They should
Did Duggan not win 89?
No, Duggan won the first one, didn't he? 88, that wasn't televised. Remember?
Well,
the one that apparently never happened. You know that one.
Well, we have that televised on the.
Yeah, no, it's up there, but it was never.
It's on the WWE network.
Yeah, it wasn't a pay-per-view. Sure, it wasn't. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Sorry, like I know what you mean. Yeah. When I was like, what's he? No. I'm with you now. Yeah. Apologies. Yeah, I think they should have. I absolutely think so, Richie. I think that would have been a great idea because he could have garnered a serious amount of heat and built Hogan to be an even bigger babyface by going up against it and taking the title back, and kind of like what they did with Slaughter,
Do you know what I'd say? Do you know what I'd say? The problem was he shot to that level so quick.
Yeah,
and that's probably why it felt maybe it didn't feel right. And of course, the stranglehold that Hogan had on it as well. Now that Big John Studd won 89, it should have been $1 Million Man. That's right, yeah, absolutely. Romy One can now be Matt Hardy was at Raw. Interesting. Also had a backstage argument with Sammy after what happened to Jeff. No surprise at all. Hope they mention him wrestling Sabu on acid. I would have thought so. I would love a dark side of ECW.
That could be scary.
The thing about ECW is that there wasn't too many bright sides in it.
No.
The bright sides in it were the likes. Like when you think about the bright sides of ECW, the bright sides of ECW were kind of like Eddie and Benoit and Austin and that kind of thing, So yeah, it'd be interesting, all right. That's Sean WC. Also his playing argument with Steamboat and OD in a van. Imagine. Right, so that, folks, make sure you check out that review and let me know your thoughts on it. A little bit of homework, a little bit of housework for you guys in the chat as well. Thought I'd ask this and we'll get Darren's thoughts as well, but we'll think about it for a bit and let it marinate before we come back to it.
Sorry, I have to just interrupt. Because
Yeah.
two of these were like two of my favourite tunes ever, right?
Cool. Yeah.
Like two absolute stompers, and they just so happen to be on the same Mania.
There you go.
Yeah.
Even better again. So there you go. So
two stompers.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, have a think about that in the chat and let us know what has been your favorite WrestleMania music performance. I seen it on Twitter the other day and thought this would be a great one to ask our community. There's been some absolute belters over the year, and I can tell you one thing from someone who's been to a number of WrestleManias: when you're on the beer with the lads and you're getting fairly there, all the performances sound great. I was out of my seat for Kid Rock at 25. And I still regret it to this day. I'm just saying. But we had a few. So we were allowed.
You're allowed. Exactly. You're allowed.
Let's see. There already is a dark side of ECW. It's the rise and fall of ECW. Yeah. Motorhead, WrestleMania 17. Acer straight in. I knew you'd be in with that one. Knew it. Have you seen the dark side of the Ring of CZW? Sure, it's every episode, isn't it? Love Limp Bizkit. I'm seeing them in Belfast in June. Nice. Nice. Motorhead because Lemmy opened his locker room door to Stephanie naked. Drowning Pool, WrestleMania 17 and 18 and Saliva. There we go. Are they still going? Just about, I'd say. Dark Side of the Ring, XPW also. Well, giving these guys Dark Side of the Ring plenty of stuff tonight. Drowning Pool, WrestleMania 18. Yeah. Drowning Pool. At Roby-One Kenobi, sure are, fella. They are sure going. Sometimes Fred Durst doesn't show up at times, though. That's the only thing. So, folks, have a think about that.
And Morris can adhere to that, I think, as well, can't he?
Absolutely, yeah. So, have a think about that, folks, and drop it into the chat there as we go along tonight. What do you think is your favorite WrestleMania music performance? It is WrestleMania season, so we said we'd go through it. Right, let's have a look at the Mania 40 card and how it's shaping up. Darren, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so I suppose in previous Manias, the message or the the hidden meaning or that we might have got was quantity over quality. I think this redresses that balance massively. There doesn't look to be too many, as you would describe, card fillers, right? This is going to go. Here's the only worry about this. This is going to go from one really good match to another really good match. Now, here's your only problem with that, and we know this from wrestling, from pay-per-views. When the first match kicks off, and when, you know, let's say it's Seth and Drew tear the absolute house down, right? Who comes out after that? It kind of doesn't really matter what they do because you're going to have that lull, right? You won't roll through a full pay-per-view and be able to grab the audience with every single match. That just doesn't happen. That's why certain matches are put on cards. I would be surprised if we didn't get a couple of fillers maybe each night to just allow them to be the ones that are the lambs to the slaughter, which keeps the big reactions for the big matches. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I seen a post today saying that they're looking at 2 more matches each night. So they're going to do 14 in total.
So that's what I would be looking at, because your problem's going to be a lot of these matches have a lot of stuff on the line. You know, you've got belts, you've got the bloodline situation, you've got you've got brother versus brother, Jay versus Jimmy, you've got the Gunther. It's another belt match. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, and they need a couple of patters, a couple of fillers,
just to bring it down, to bring it back up.
Bring it down to bring it back up, because I think the worry would be, let's say we go out, let's say we go out with Drew and Seth on night 2, right? Let's say that opens, yeah, because we know that Cody and Roman is gonna be finished, yeah. So that's got to be the main event. You run out with Seth and Drew, because again, you may even have a cash in with Damian Priest or something like that, right? So we go for that first. If you put on an AJ and an LA Knight afterwards, it's going to be massively forgettable. And I don't think you can do that to either of the two lads, because I think both of them at the minute need this to be a barn burner. You know, I think both of them have, AJ has stagnated over the last kind of 9 months to a year, whereas I think in the last couple of weeks, LA has dropped off the face of the earth. And I think to build both of these lads back up, they need to be given a spot where the crowd is ready to get into something and the two lads are able to produce them.
I seen the thing the other day as well. Interesting you say that. Obviously, if you look at AJ Styles, and we're big fans of AJ, of course, and I have been ever since his Ring of Honor and TNA days. I followed AJ Styles' career. But apart from the Boneyard match, which was something very, very different, his performances at WrestleMania have kind of left us a little bit wanting. The match against Edge, I thought, was really, really disappointing. Really disappointing for two guys in there of that level of talent and everything else to deliver what they delivered. And I know it was a tough Mania, because you're following a lot of really, really good stuff, and it's in Texas and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you are right though, because if you look at the two guys, at one stage or another, both of those guys were probably the top wrestler on the planet. You know, at one stage it was AJ and at one stage it was Edge. They were the
Yeah.
number one guys. So to see both of those guys against each other, you think this is going to be the stuff dreams are made of. And it was little more than a damn squib.
Yeah, I think the problem was as well is night one was so good.
Yeah.
And night two had to follow it, and it was so difficult to follow night one.
And that's
one absolutely tore the house down.
I think that could be the problem with the card in general. Because I do listen, there's nothing I don't love there. There's very little I don't love. But I do feel we need to be able to come down in order to get back up again. And I think that's important. Now, I've just seen Jerry there mention Tiffany versus Bianca Belair. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, if that's inserted, that's ideal. It'll give us a little bit of a louse spot, but it still gets like the likes of Tiffany Stratton on a WrestleMania card weeks after her debut, which is important for her.
And Bianca at WrestleMania is so important as well, with her legacy that she's building. So it's not necessarily what we would call a dampen down the crowd kind of match.
No, it's not. But I mean, that's where people are going to take their breaths. That's where people are going to go, holy shit, can you believe what happened? That was fucking insane. And then at the end of that match, people will be like, right, here we go. What's next? Let's go again type thing. Yeah, I agree, Sean. I think it's a really good card. I think the quality on the card is phenomenal. And again, we spoke about this, and listen, I love a bit of AEW bashing as much as the next guy. But something we talked about earlier was, you know, for me, WWE will continuously be the number one promotion. And the reason they will is, if you look at the depth in that card, you look at those 10 matches. AEW couldn't put a card like that together with 10 matches because they don't have the superstars.
I remember that slide. That slide is only a fraction of the roster.
Yes.
When you think about it.
Well, I mean, there's so many guys we can look at who aren't on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Where's
it's an interesting one as well.
Where's Braun Breaker?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I was talking to a guy in the shop the other day, and he came into me, nice fella, drops into me. He's big into, he loves New Japan, and he loved the King of the Death matches with Foley and all that kind of stuff. He always talking to me about it. And he was talking about how he hadn't watched it for a while, and that he hasn't been watching it. And I said to him, you should go back watching it, because I said you're at the cusp of an upsurge in the cycle at the moment. There's a lot of really, really good stuff in it at the moment. And I said, I'm now looking forward to watching Raw. I'm looking forward to watching SmackDown. And it's not sort of you can take it or leave it. You know me.
Well, it became a chore. It became a chore.
But what I said to him, and
as fans, it became a chore.
Yeah, but what I said to him is, not only am I back watching it, I generally have an interest in literally every piece of it. So it's not just the opening promo or the opening match or the finishing promo or the run-in or the interference or the finishing match. I actually like a lot of what's going on throughout the whole show. And if you look at this card here, like, there's not a bad one on it. There's not a bad one on it. And I think most wrestling fans would have an interest in literally every match on that there. If you don't have an interest in every one of those there, it would be a weird one. So from that point of view, I hope, like, for me, my fear is that LA Knight and AJ Styles doesn't deliver. And that would be an interesting one. AJ versus LA Knight would be like Jericho versus Owen. Boring.
I'd like to think they'll do something to make sure it isn't like that Romy one. But I do understand where you're coming from. You know, it'll be that Chris Jericho Fandango moment. It'll be forgettable for all the wrong reasons.
Greece, Poland, Wales all qualified for Euros. Random comment, doesn't it? Romy one can all be. Can you see Tama Tonga interfering in on the bloodline matches? Maybe Jimmy versus Jay. Darren had a big conversation about this the other day, didn't you? The whole family, when we were talking about that promo signed by Alden put together and stuff. We that led to us doing a bit of a creative booking, didn't it?
A little bit of creative booking. Oh, and yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking through now. What's fairly good. Wales, putting up a good performance there. Wales, aren't they 4-1 up? There's one of your boys. Neko Williams on the score sheet.
Ex-boys.
Well, Daniel James is there as well. He's one of ours. He's not the usual. Sorry. Like, I suppose the bloodline, we're not going to know until the Sunday night how it's going to play out, because the Saturday night will have a huge impact on it. As we spoke about today, the bloodline rules are to be determined, and if that's the way it goes, this could be all hell breaking loose. This could be all hell.
If they really push the boat out on it, you could have Tamatonga coming in, but you could also have Dustin Rhodes coming in.
Yeah.
So it's
and you could have, Jimmy and Jay, who have just beaten the absolute piss out of each other an hour and a half beforehand, all of a sudden going, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this together again, and we need to back somebody else. We need to back Cody, or we need to back Roman, and again, you get another swerve.
And someone has to get a Rikishi Sting face, don't they? They have to.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm down yet.
Did you see his thing today?
No.
He put out a tweet today. Yeah, I'm gonna try and think about it, but it was basically, very proud moment. Obviously, with my two boys, this is your time. I want you to go and absolutely steal the fucking show. And like, this has the ability to be a really good match as well. Because don't forget, in ring, these lads are very, very good, Jimmy and Jay. Very, very good. We look at the stuff they've done for years as a tag team, and they'll bring heat individually here. This will be good.
Yeah, I think, Keith, in regards to the Money in the Bank briefcase, I think are we thinking along the lines of a Seth or a Drew cash in? That's kind of it's not going to be a cash in on Cody, is it?
I don't think so. I do think it'll be Seth or Drew, because again, Priest is on Raw and so is Seth and Drew, so to speak. Now I know the separation isn't as clear as it has been in previous times, but I do think they'll try and keep it like that. I wouldn't be at all shocked to see Damian Priest pull his own hoist. To see Damian Priest pull the hoist that Seth Rollins did. That wouldn't shock me. I could see that. I could get behind that. I could see, Seth kind of going, I wrote the book on it. I understand why you did it and blah de blah. And yeah, I could see that. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah. My mum stopped watching WWF after the Attitude Era finished. She loved Gangrel, and now she's back watching it again. Gangrel's a lovely guy. I had him in the shop for a signing, actually. He is an absolute gent. Makes some good movies as well, apparently. Just saying. But yeah, it's stacked out. What way do you think, chat? This is for you guys as well, and gals, if you're in there. Darren, what way do you think this ladder match is going to go? Are we going to see a kind of a Hardy's 33 kind of thing? Are we going to see a Dudley's? Are we going to... What's going in there?
I think, excuse me, I think that's what we all hope will happen. I think obviously showing Matt and Rebby on camera on Monday night was strange. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all, if I'm honest. I would not be surprised at all if I'm honest with that. Because what that does, Romy, is that then brings you, it brings you into a fatal four-way with Priest, Punk, Drew, and Rollins. Because Drew wants his rematch. Rollins has lost the belt to Drew. He's probably due a rematch. The cash-in is affected, and Punk is going to sprinkle himself back in as well. So that could make, could you go to SummerSlam looking at Punk, Drew, Rollins, and Priest in a fatal four-way? That's a match. That's serious, right? You're taking that all day long, yeah?
I'm not a huge fan of fatal four-ways, but I could see how that level of talent could make it work. But I hate fatal four ways. I don't know what it is. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if the last two teams are the Hardys and the Dudleys? Can you imagine how Edge and Christian and AEW are going to feel?
like two lads that have just been sent to the Wicklow Mountains with their tents, and now they're hitchhiking back to Mount Street.
I know, Romy. I know it's a stretch. I know. I was talking to Darren even about Jeff. Is Jeff going to be in that position and all to do what he needs to do and all? And I don't know.
I think for the good of everyone, if Jeff comes on the screen, I'm closing my eyes. Jeff Hardy makes me feel so uncomfortable. It's fucking scary. He really does.
The brother isn't exactly as polished as he used to be either.
No, he's not. But you just know he hasn't been through what Jeff has.
No, he's less of a risk taker, obviously.
He's he physically, mentally, and emotionally, I think Matt's had the easier life. And when I look at Jeff, and he's coming, he's going. As soon as I seen him put his hand near a ladder, I just think, Jeff, don't do it, pal. Please, don't do it, Jeff. Yeah. I don't want to be at a stage where I'm watching Jeff Hardy on the ground, and we're watching somebody being put back together like Humpty Dumpty, and it ain't part of the storyline.
Yeah. And if that's the case, then AEW will come on then talking about safety and all that kind of thing, and you know what I mean? Yeah, no, it'll be absolutely crazy, but I have to say I'm really looking forward to this Mania, I have to say. Yeah. Keith saying, I think Dudley Boys, it's in Philly, and also they will be there for Heyman's Hall of Fame.
Should be,
absolutely. Can you imagine if the Dudley's music hits and they come out and all that?
Here's a question. Is, allowing, say, the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys into the ladder match at WrestleMania, is that almost Triple H wiping his Mickey in Edge's mouth after he's taken it out?
Or both.
Do you know what I mean?
But sure, he wished them well, didn't he? He wished them well. We seen the press conference.
Right. Does that just... Here's the pro... You remember Bullseye back in the day?
Yeah.
Let's turn the screen and find out what you could have won.
That's the speedboat at the apartment block, isn't it?
Right.
That's the caravan being shared between two families.
Yeah. A whole street taking it and taking bleeding multiple bookings, right? I think that just, if we get the Hardys and the Dudleys there, I think that just stinks of Triple H going, well, fuck you, pair.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah. Awesome. True will win the tag team titles.
Do we think? They might.
You think so?
They might. Listen, they've got to do something for R-Truth. He's been fucking amazing.
He has.
He's been amazing. Like, he really has. And the fact that it turns out being a 6-man tag or a 6-team ladder match, and the Judgment Day lose them, and then all of a sudden it's R-Truth, and maybe the door is open. Truth, you want to come to the Judgment Day? No, sorry, I'm busy. I'm in the Awesome Truth now. It's, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah. Eric saying, big up Eric. It's mad how things have changed for Sami Zayn. He was off as F a year ago, and now there are people way more popular than him. There's always been people way more popular than him. I thought the Bloodline stuff he did was good, but I think it was more Comedy Central than anything. I like Sami Zayn and stuff like that.
You don't.
Let me make this clear. I do like Sami Zayn. I don't think Sami Zayn. Now
look at me when you're saying that.
Should end Gunther's reign.
You're not a Sami Zayn fan.
Well, he wouldn't be like he's. Look, I've nothing against the guy. Like, he wouldn't be like if he. Look.
Listen. Hold on. That's what I'm. Oh, well, this was the next card I was gonna pull. Let's be honest. The two people you don't like, the two people you'd make disappear from that WrestleMania fucking picture is Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. They're the first two you take off.
I don't want them to disappear. I want to have that moment when it's put to them. I don't want them to disappear off the card. I want Gunther to tear him up You know? Yeah. And I want Bloodline rules 100% night too. I want these boys to have that way. You know?
You're not a Sami Zayn or a Cody Rhodes fan. Don't be giving me that now. But we know that.
I ain't feeling
Well,
very
I know
juicy
that.
tonight. I ain't
No,
feeling
you're
very
not.
juicy tonight. Romy's in. Sammy to win the Intercontinental, and Gunther finally goes for the world title. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. Sami Zayn can't end this reign with everything he's gone through. With everything Gunther's done, building up that belt and all. Surely Sami Zayn is not the guy to end it. Surely not.
You just don't get it.
I just listen.
Sami Zayn.
Listen.
Sami Zayn.
Be careful what you wish for. Be careful
Sami
what you wish
Zayn
for.
is the Daniel Bryan of
Yes, moment.
the Intercontinental belt. That's what he is.
Which I didn't like. Which I didn't like either.
You had to have a bit of like. I'm not a Daniel Bryan fan, and even I had that moment.
Listen, I was not in that moment. At no point was I doing this. At no point.
Really?
No.
Okay, hang on. We're just going to go over to our friend Dean, because Dean has a video here from...
No, he doesn't.
Yes.
Dean will tell you. Dean will tell you I was doing shots of whiskey at the bar when Cody won the belt at 35, and Dean was dancing around like a 4-year-old. I was drowning my sorrows. Matt should be a producer. That's not that shout. Seth and Cody to win against Roman and Rock. I don't know. I think
we talked about this today.
Yeah, they haven't put that bloodline rules out stipulation out there for nothing. So I think maybe
because initially I had said the same thing, you know. But after we spoke about it today, I was more than happy to say, you know what, this goes to Rock and Roman, because that means bloodline rules for Sunday night, and then we really get to see what kicks off.
Absolutely. Bring Matt Cardona back and push him. Have you mentioned, are they doing an Andre Battle Royal, or is that on the SmackDown show before?
I fucking hope not.
Yeah. WWE needs to sign Kevin Von Erich's son up to NXT. They're amazing, and the Stranglehold team is dope. Yeah, you know they'll bring them in though and change it. Shame the Creed brothers won't be in the ladder match. I was just about to mention that match on Raw was lit with DIY. Absolutely. I like those boys. Real old school feel, real FTR feel to them, isn't it? Real team angle.
Love the Creed brothers. Absolutely love them. I just think timing is important, and I don't feel like they've had the role to build momentum. But I think this time next year, it could be completely different, because I think they are going to be huge, by the way. I really do.
Yeah, Kenny's in. I don't think Triple H cares about rubbing Edge up the wrong way. It feels like when Brett left WWE, they milked the cow dry and looked at some of Adam's AEW stuff reluctantly. It's not great. It isn't great.
It's shocking. Do you know the absolute best thing that's happened Edge with AEW was the crowd singing his theme tune last night? Did you see that?
And he got the belt.
That's his best. Fucking belt. You wouldn't get one of them in fucking McKeever's menswear. What are you talking about?
Woolworths.
Fucking belt. Jesus Christ. There's Indian and Pakistani lads that sell belts better than that. The best thing that's happened to him in AEW is that crowd singing his team back to him last night. That was a cool moment. As for the belt, you can wipe your hole in it, other than the fact you'd probably get fucking, frostbite off it. Absolute piece of piss belt.
My mum has been buying R-Truth merch, Niall. We need to come over to your shop. You will have good business if you sell R-Truth merch with my mum in the shop.
We can make it happen.
we can make anything happen. We put in an order today, actually, for Heyman Hall of Fame merchandise.
Pretty good.
The Slap T-shirt.
Right.
You know, the comic one. What else did I order? The Drew McIntyre one at the grave with the Punk.
Yeah.
It's cool. And what's the other one I did?
Sorry. Have you seen his newest one?
Yes, the one with Dal stuff in the back of the list.
Yeah, but here's your problem, right? He's releasing a new bleeding T-shirt every Monday.
Yeah.
Like,
I
how do you
love
keep
that.
that?
I love that.
Yeah, but you don't get any longevity out of it. Like,
I don't want customers getting longevity out of shirts. What are you talking about? That's marketing 101. Release 100 different punk shirts right now. It's all good. Nah,
well,
I'm
you
only
listen. You know very well. They could release a fucking penny T-shirt with a black marker down the middle of it, call it CM Punk, and you'd sell 100 of them anyway. So
yeah,
that's fucking, that's the gift that
absolutely.
keeps on giving. But we knew
Yes.
that. We've always spoken about that.
Henry, it feels great being back podcasting. I feel free. You do. And I said it to you, Henry. Good to see you back on the saddle, mate. Put the world title on Ron Killings, even if it's for a week before he retires. It's a stretch.
I was gonna say what about a world tag team title? That might work. I'll tell you what though. What nick he is in for a bloke of his age. What
He's never
nick he is
changed.
in.
He's been in the same nick since he was 20.
The steroids must be real good.
Well, he's
They
never
must
failed.
be.
He's never failed a wellness test either.
Yeah, but there's loads of lads who haven't failed the wellness test who are juiced up to their eyeballs. Like,
He's been on TRT since he was 5.
Gunther looks like he's at the bin and bleeding Turkey getting fucking a gastric band fitted. Like, he's at there going down about fucking 7 stone in 2 years. He was Billy Bunter initially, not Gunter. That's how he got the fucking name. Like,
absolutely. Romy One Kenobi, Sammy deserves it, Niall. We will fall out if you don't agree. Tell me why he deserves it. Tell me why he deserves it, and then we can have a chat.
I think, if you look at maybe what Sammy brought to the table in that bloodline, I think this could be his payoff. Because, as you say, we never thought he was going to win the world title against Roman.
There's only one man that should be taking that belt off Gunther, and that's Sheamus.
Well, we're not going to argue over that. But
that's how I feel about it. So if they have to wait another month for Sheamus to come back and do it at SummerSlam, do it that way or whatever way you want to do it. But it doesn't make any sense in any shape, form, or fashion. Unless Imperium are going to come out and screw Gunther over or something like that. But it doesn't. There's no way. I'm telling you now, you'll come on this podcast a month after WrestleMania, absolutely slating the IC belt that will be flicked around from pillar to post, and Sami Zayn then versus Kevin Owens will go into a storyline for about 3 months, and you'll be ripping your hair out going, it was right. Please, no. It needs to be Braun Breaker to defeat Gunther. Maybe Sami Zayn will be Drew. Sami Zayn will be Drew McIntyre title match at Backlash in Paris. No.
Sami Zayn will be Drew McIntyre. What are we getting now? That's just the whole French fucking Canadian thing. It's Backlash. Might be. So in which case then?
I don't know.
Listen, do you know what? That's not a complete stretch.
Well, it is if Priest is cashing in. And surely they're not going to pump Drew all the way down to the IC belt at this stage, are they?
No, but, you don't, maybe fucking Priest cashes in and he doesn't win it. Happened before?
Maybe. I think Y2J needs to come back to WWE.
Maybe as he goes to cash in, one of the Judgment Day pulls the plug on him, and that's the breakup of the Judgment Day.
They come out with the real Money in the Bank briefcase with the contract in, and not the one he brings to the ring. We've spoke about that, haven't we?
I don't think that's happening, but anyway.
Y2J back to WWE?
Do they have an over 65 league or something like that? That's fucking floundering.
They do have a Hall of Fame.
Unless he's gonna wear one of them Luke Gallows vests, you're all right, thanks. Because we have no interest in seeing Chris Jericho's saggy tits on me telly on a fucking Friday night on SmackDown.
Do you know what it is? You know that parting of the chest they have from years
ago? The fuck is that about?
It's awful looking, and Kofi has it as well. It's terrible looking.
He's like a hollowed out turkey.
Yeah, so
Taker had it at one stage.
It was like you were
Undertaker had
chasing a guy. Yeah, it's like you were chasing a guy around the corner and someone hit you right in the middle of the chest with a roasting iron or something like that. And it's rotten.
and there's a 4-inch dip in your chest.
Creed Brothers absolutely fantastic, but that finisher they have is rough, needs work. Does.
Do you not like that one? I love that part because it's not a million miles away. The Doomsday device, the LOD one, remember?
Yeah.
Obviously, the boys take him off the top with the clothesline. But I love the idea of the rolling ball off the top. That's deadly.
Yeah. Creed Brothers
like
absolutely. Oh, yeah, read that one. Yeah, Chris Jericho could retire tomorrow. Would be good news.
I agree, Eric. Wholeheartedly.
With Vince gone from WWE, you think we might get Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame now?
No, it's nothing to do with Vince.
I would love it. I would love it, but I don't think so.
Not down to it's the bitter heart that we're not getting there. It's not that.
You love this one, Kenny. Belts in AEW are just participation trophies.
Kenny, you're playing my tune, brother.
Can you see Owens and Sammy winning the belts and have a moment at WrestleMania 40 like Benoit and Eddie?
Oh. No.
I don't think holding up the US and IC belt is that Eddie and Benoit moment. So
no,
I don't know. It's that would be a tough one.
And I don't see KO winning the United States. If I see Randy Orton winning it, possibly, but not KO.
And I don't know, are both those matches on the same night? Or
no, one's on night one and one's on night two.
You normally split them, yeah. So I don't know, maybe AEW seems to have been rejuvenated somewhat, although I don't really think Mercedes is exactly going to save the women's division. Her team is horrible as well.
Her team, strangely enough, is even worse than her fucking wardrobe and her hair has been, which is a stretch.
Gunther is the wrestling's Ivan Drago and Sammy is Rockin. Yeah. But we do know in real world and not in Hollywood and in the movies, Ivan Drago batters Rocky all day, legit.
Not necessarily.
You can't take that amount of punishment and come back. I don't care how punchy you are. If that guy hits you with those double combinations,
ask Anthony Joshua. Ask Anthony Joshua. Jesus. Has he been rejuvenated or what?
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but look at the pathway there. He fought the Klitschko's and then he fought your man Ruiz or whatever it was.
They're now dipping his gloves in fucking titanium because everyone he hits the deck.
Dipping them in the glass like your man in Bloodsport, was it?
Fucking hell.
It was, yeah. Any AEW news, Niall, there's a little bit coming in. Don't worry.
I have some news on AEW. This is a hot scoop, right? And I just want to get it out before Niall gets his news out because this is breaking news. It's just come down the pipe. AEW is the biggest steaming pile of shite this side of fucking Coronation Street that any backwards fuck watches on a fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or fucking Friday. Now give it over with that type of shite, pal, will you? Or you're getting fucked out of the room as well.
That's terrible. So, I'll just go ahead. I'll just sit back. I'll switch hosting over to you.
You know it's true.
I'm just going to get
it's true.
The entertainment. I've also found it interesting to look back at WWE history, how John Cena had always been billed, despite being the top face of the company. It's hard to imagine it being any different for Cody. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting.
Hey Ted, I think the problem with Cena was, certain things didn't lend themselves for Cena, did they? The t-shirts were, and the headbands and the fucking sweatbands and all that was great.
It was amazing.
That was great.
It was amazing. What are you talking about?
Listen,
I won't have anyone coming onto this podcast having a bad word about John Cena.
I am not saying that. I am a huge John Cena fan. And if the truth be known, I could probably go over to a drawer in the bedroom there and dig out a set of sweatbands and a t-shirt and a matching fucking hat, right? So
that man got me through a banking crisis.
I'm all for John Cena, but I think that's why people turn on him as well, though, right? That orange and fucking the purples and the greens, the colours, the Barney thing, and John being wired and white, and he was like, who's your man? Remember Johnny Bravo? with the big John. You know, that was John, and like at least Hogan was a bit cooler, wasn't he? Hogan was a bit cooler than Cena in the day.
Well, it's just, they're pretty much the same. It's just we weren't as clever during the Hogan period.
No, Hogan wasn't as cute, or Cena wasn't as cute as Hogan.
Yeah, listen, but with Hogan, you got up every morning, you said your prayers, and you ate your vitamins, and you did all
absolutely.
With John Cena, you didn't rock up in the orange headband on you.
See? Exactly. I was camping outside bleeding Holland and Barrett at that stage waiting to get me vitamins, you know what I mean?
Although you being a big fan of colours, the John Cena gear for you probably fit the mould, didn't it? I could see you walking on the court.
You know, the only John Cena
with the headband and everything, the whole lot on.
No, you know, the only John Cena one I have, and I know I have the full set. Have I got the cap there? I have the cap, I have the t-shirt, and I have the 2 sweatbands. Full set.
I know you have denim shorts.
You've seen me wearing them anyway, right? Yeah. That's fine.
So you probably have kit. And you never have the runners.
Oh, that's a no-brainer. I got the runners and the jorts because I wear them generally day to day. But I do have a hat, I do have the t-shirt, and I do have the sweatbands. Do you remember it was the when he returned to the Royal Rumble, and it was the black gear, and it was like the Beware of the Dog one. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Yeah, the one with the chain link on it and the orange hustle, loyalty, respect, is it?
That is the number one John Cena of all time. That is the best, and that's the black one. Because I used to, and again, full disclosure, right? Full disclosure. Many years ago was that since he won that Rumble. What year was that? Aces will tell us. Jerry, when did you win that Rumble?
Good question.
It's probably, what are we at? 2008, 2010, something like that. So it's about 15 years. No, it's about 15 years ago, maybe, I reckon.
I think it's before that.
Couldn't be that much before it. But I remember I used to go to the gym and work out in my John Cena t-shirt, cap and sweatbands. Fact. And I used to be lifting some decent weights back in that stage. And
I appreciated the fact that you did it. I love that guy. I should have a shrine here for John Cena, shouldn't I, really?
Put me 3 kids through college, that boy did.
When shops were closing down left, right, and centre during the banking collapse, I was dishing out the fruity pebbles like a good thing.
And just to reiterate, I had nothing to do with that banking collapse before anyone says that. So,
let's go there. You think we get The Rock versus Roman for SummerSlam? At WrestleMania 41 it has to be a WrestleMania. We were talking about doing it at a Crown Jewel, wasn't it?
Sorry, just one thing. I'm just gonna tell you one thing, Keith. There is no way we're getting Rock and Roman Reigns in fucking Cleveland.
No.
Nope. No chance, Keith. No chance. Crown Jewel, possibly. WrestleMania 41, very possibly. Fucking SummerSlam in Cleveland. No chance.
I was thinking about it today, right? And I was having a laugh, right? And this came across my mind. I've been watching that Hard Knocks series, the Dynasty series, about the different NFL teams and their preseason.
Very good. Very good.
Today I started on the Cleveland Browns, and even the Cleveland Browns got out of Cleveland to do their preseason. And I was thinking, good Lord, SummerSlam.
We had spoke about that, and I said to you, don't forget Cleveland's an absolute shithole. Like, man. LeBron was only out in nappies, and he was like, someone get me the fuck to Miami. I have got to get out of this place.
I got offered free tickets for WrestleMania 23 in Detroit and Ford Field, and I turned it down. I said, I ain't slim and I ain't shady, so I ain't going anywhere near that place. AEW is as useful as a handbrake on a canoe.
I just absolutely love the sound. Sorry, there's fucking disco going on in my bedroom now. I just absolutely love the sound of what Kenny is saying there, man. I love that Kenny. And then someone's at the round in behind him. Who was that? Who rolled in? Was that Keith?
Keith. 100%.
Yes, Keith. Absolutely, Keith. 100%.
The problem with Cena was that he halted the momentum of a few too many up-and-coming stars, and you just knew he was going to win.
Don't go looking at it like an adult head, will you? It was the fucking shit t-shirts that kicked them out. Go easy there, coming at us with your fucking logical, sensible arguments. Fuck off. Do you think this is the fucking WhatsApp group? Get out of here, will you?
I have to say, I would have never had him losing. I would have generated another shriek. Don't mind Taker. John Cena walking Nickelodeon channel, 100%. He can keep on walking it. Hogan wasn't a fan of colours.
Jesus.
Jesus, Ted. That's out of nowhere. John Cena is loyal.
Wow.
When I see men in Cena gear, screams virgin.
Thankfully, I had about 12 kids at that stage around me, but other than that, you'd have been probably right.
Absolutely. Triple H face in the Garden 2008.
2008, I called it. I had 2008 on it.
Yeah. Fairly boring card, I think, Stephen. Dylan's in. Fairly boring card. Really? What did you want, Stephen?
No, hold on. Hang on. Hold on. I'm just getting something in my ear here. Hang on. What's that smell? Stephen's an AEW fan. Stephen, you should watch real wrestling, not that fucking fake shit. You get yourself waiting that TV when AEW's on it, Stephen. Don't be doing that to yourself, pal.
Go for doing ring announcer. Miz is facing Reigns for the title at SummerSlam, lads.
Oh, God, no. Imagine it.
Can't eject him in there, can we? Rock versus Cody, SummerSlam is being rumoured. Interesting. Connor's in. Big up, Connor. How are you? Bloodline wins the tag team match on night 1, and Cena helps Cody win the world title.
Do you know Connor or do we know Connor?
I'd say I'm not. I think I know.
Okay, that's fine. I know Connor Kelly. That's why I'm asking.
If it's the Connor Kelly, I think it's yeah. I think I definitely know. I think it is anyway. Cool. It could be you, but it could be. See, this is what happens when people don't put little.
If it's Connor Kelly, I know. I'm wondering why the fuck he's in here and what's he doing.
Then it's definitely the one I know. Then, isn't it?
There you go.
American males. The Rock will be glassed in this tag team match, especially against Cody, and said gassed should be. Rock give up the boots, man. Well, he'll just come in for the stare down moments, the Hogan moments, and stuff like that. No, won't he? And listen,
no, I don't know. I'd say Roman pushes him into it. Good man.
You reckon Rock? AEW is as useless as a French drum kit.
Yeah, you see, you know what I think happens? I think Roman pushes Rock into the ring. Because he's like, well, I'm the tribal chief. I sit at the head of the table. You go and do the donkey work.
So Rock's taking the pin.
Rock eats the pin, and now all of a sudden we've got a fucking problem, right? Because Rock's after costing him the yoke.
Yeah, but we want bloodline rules, don't we?
Depends, but there's loads of opportunities here.
I wonder, does Rock pull Reigns out of the pin and get the pin?
Don't know, man.
Interesting. I'm going with Randy Orton and Logan Paul and KO for the show stealer over the 2 nights.
I think anything that Logan is in could steal the show because we know how good he is and how athletic he is and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to talk about this yesterday. 30 years on.
Forever.
30 years on.
Forever the bad guy.
Forever.
Special one for tonight. Yes.
Well, chat. What was your thoughts on this? 30 years on. It was unbelievable, wasn't it? I went back and I looked at clips of it and all yesterday and all, and it was just the work between the two boys was sensational.
Absolutely. And if the work between the two lads wasn't good enough, you see the figure Mattel brought out for it? Yeah. Stop that. Yeah. Stop it. Jesus. I think so, Ted. I did mention this in a private conversation with Niall.
Hopefully that gets me more interested in it. Ace Rock down
not unless Gable's got a pair of 38 double Ds at 8.
I was thinking today, I was nearly tempted to go do a watch along for Mania, and I was thinking, if Sammy wins the belt, I'll lose my shit. I'll end the stream, Dave. End the stream.
Where would we do something like that?
But all the virgins and incels were crying for Cody. Bloodline rules, I assume, just means anything goes.
I think so, Eric. I think it's open to fucking interpretation that could be, there's going to be 10 of the fucking Annoy family outside on one side. There's going to be 10 of the Rhodes, Brandy, Dustin, the dog, the whole shoot match on the other side. And everything's just going to kick off while the boys in the ring fucking kick 7 bells out of each other and someone eats a pin.
Absolutely. What did you make of this? Sting versus Undertaker. Apparently they wanted it to happen, but the old man didn't want it, apparently. The old man's getting a lot of shade this week, isn't it? We'll be talking about the 2 books that are coming out as well.
Would you say it was undeserving?
I'm not saying it's undeserving. I'm saying timing is key.
So. I didn't think so.
You wonder what big entrance The Rock will get at Mania this year. I'm loving his new entrance at the moment, yeah. Absolutely.
Isn't it mental to think, right? Remember when JR got his first bout with Bell's palsy? Yeah?
Yeah.
And Vince kind of had a little bash at him about, we can't have you on the screen like that and blah, blah, blah. And now Vince looks like that permanently. Look at the fucking... Isn't that called karma, isn't it? Look at the fucking head on that thing, man.
Greatest ladder match.
If the mop I took out of the bucket this morning looked that bad, I'd have thrown it
out. Shawn Michaels versus a ladder and Razor happened to be around from what I heard. Careful, Ted. Careful.
And don't forget, they continued on at SummerSlam, didn't they?
Yeah, back when Michaels had a hairline. This is deep. 30 years on.
Keith, did we know was it that kicked his eyeball that way as well, or what happened there?
Dustin Rhodes returns. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Steve, before you came in. Actually, Vince looks like Dave Moyes and Coke.
That's David Moyes after winning the conference last year and sitting up with Danny Dower and Jared Bowen to absolutely wreck the bar all night.
Romy Wunkanobi, don't say a bad word about David Moyes. Stephen's in the chat.
Jesus.
In the chat. Dean Douglas chalkboard. Yeah. So then, if that wasn't bad enough, I've seen some of this come about. Could we potentially, now that the old man is out of the way, could someone else be diving in there to take that big bag? Because if he's paying Sasha Banks 10 mil, imagine what Taker would want.
Well, we both know that ain't ever happening. Ever.
He does love that. He does love that paper. I know he refused to go to WCW and all. I know he's loyal, but the loyalty to the man that's not there anymore.
He would climb into the casket and pull the lid closed quicker than go there for that. Fact. Not entertaining it.
I thought I'd put it up there for you, but you know what I was thinking? I was thinking Darby Allin gets involved in the match, and I could see Taker in the corner absolutely leveling Darby Allin. He's about the size of Taker's leg.
Throwing him out into row fucking Z like a bag of popcorn.
No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't have been as good as people think, Ted, especially at the time where they were thinking of doing. I think they were talking somewhere between 26 and 28, Mania 26 and 28, I think it was.
I think Ted's hit the nail on the head there. I absolutely think he's hit the nail on the head. And I think you'd have ended up looking back at it going, fucking hell, man. We didn't need to see that.
Could you have booked it in a way like Hogan and Rock at 18 and got the spectacle of it?
No, because neither of them were Rock.
No, but they're still iconic.
Like, yeah, but none of them could move the way Rock could even. Like, you've got to have one of them that can hold their end up with the bargain, and fucking neither of them could at that stage. You know, like, Rock danced and he made Hogan look good. Neither of these two fuckers, you know, could have done that.
Shite about the Moyes, eh?
I love it.
Oh, God.
I love it.
Oh, God, no, it'd be like slapping match and a nursing home.
Yeah.
Okay, calm fantasy booking. Imagine them wheeling out the barrel loads of dollars to the jet. 2001 would have been a good time for Sting versus Taker. Sting was still in his prime. You make that sound like Taker wasn't.
What did he? What go back? What's he booked?
What's this, cocaine?
Nah, next one. What's he booked for All In? No, you're going the wrong way. You need to go the other way.
Oh, sorry. Okada versus Omega. Okada versus Omega.
That's not true, is it?
Probably. Well, I don't know. You probably wouldn't have booked it that far ahead already.
Stop the lights. Because if anyone thinks that's selling out fucking Wembley.
Well, see, they've already sold a bunch of tickets, haven't they? So to the
fucking the window cleaner and the fucking Jack's cleaner and Mary who bakes the cakes down at fucking Greg's that fucking closed down because of the fucking card thing.
I read those. I read. Did I read there a few weeks ago? 63,000 or something gone already. So I heard. Not necessarily agreeing with it. I'm just telling you.
I ain't believing it. That's a bag of bullshit. I ain't buying tonight.
Probably would have made sense in 2001. How cringe is Tony Khan at his press conferences? I think he's embarrassing.
He looks exactly like a kid I used to bully in school.
Forget about the president. Just look. Did you look at that interview? Any of you in the chat? Did you look at the interview with him and Mercedes Moné getting interviewed by that girl, and they're in a kind of a studio, and he's just doing this. He's just doing this with the hat like a puppet.
He's the cringiest fucker ever.
All in Tony Khan versus the roll of $5 bill.
His outfit must just, get glimpses of him while he's flying around the world on the private jet doing this, that, and a brand new hat, and just look and go, is that where my money is going? That useless fucking bag of shite, like, he's a moron. He's an absolute moron.
I am the gift that keeps on giving, though.
Look at that, man.
Do they need to introduce financial fair play into wrestling or something like that, or what's the story?
He needs to go and do a fucking a leaving cert level fucking course in economics. Like, because at this rate, you're going the exact same way as fucking WCW, which is straight to the dole queue, Tony. You fucking... Oh.
The idea that Tony Khan blames Jack Perry for losing CM Punk is funny, although apparently he felt his life was in danger. Love it. Tony Khan, modern day Herb Adams. Love it. Aces, Premier League will be on that weekend and all in Wembley, August. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Thankfully, I'll be on my holidays and not having to worry about any of that.
Tony Khan moving like Clear Lake. Hope there's no Chelsea fans in the chat.
Maybe he has a few shares in Chelsea as well. Mate, hold on. Fantasy booking update. Maybe Tony had something to do with signing them 43 players in the last 2 windows for money that they've never been worth in their lives.
And he does like giving out long contracts. That Okada finish the other night looked like two lads out on a night full of beer, and God knows what was shocking. Oh, this is comedy gold.
I feel like Kenny could be, one of them voices that you listen to calm you down before you go to sleep. Kenny could be that voice in my ear, just whispering little things to me. Khan's a cunt. AEW's for wankers. Sleep well, big man. That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tingle, Kenny, tingle.
Looking forward to watching Daniel Bryan versus Will Ospreay. Really?
Are you really? Did
you see? I spoke to you earlier about the promo. See, they're talking about people can't even understand them.
I was on the socials the other day. It must have been what night do AEW have shows on?
Wednesday, isn't it?
So it must have been yesterday then. But I was going on the socials, and the first video that I came across was the bastard Pac. And I was like, I'm listening to Pac with the fucking microphone in his hand, and I'm like, we don't live miles away from this bloke, and I'm really struggling to understand what this lad is saying. How have the Yanks got any idea what Pac is saying. Like, any.
Eddie Howe's done well, hasn't he?
Holy
To keep his
Jesus.
Dolce tones.
Telling you.
Can't sign Potch for 16 mil a year. Can't give it out money like Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber.
Do you reckon
Bowley?
Do you reckon Bowley works for Khan and he was just put there because Khan's like, listen, they're already really giving me some stick over what I do with the other place. So if you could just stand there and just take all the abuse, I'll happily give you 10 a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Pac looking for trouble. Absolutely.
Unreal.
Ted, I can understand Pac perfectly, to be honest. Know a few boys from South Shields and Newcastle, though, so it could be because of that. Absolutely.
I think it is Ted.
Google Translator works a treat. What you make of this Bray Wyatt documentary coming out? Becoming Immortal?
Yeah.
Undertaker narrating it, isn't it?
Love the idea of it. I think I love the title, Becoming Immortal. Brilliant. Really good. The photo shoot looks tops, the way they put it together and stuff, the graphics. And then having Taker do the narration on it is just gonna be it's gonna be special. They're gonna blow it out of the ballpark with that. But we know they are. You can just rely on them for a certain amount of things, and this is one of them.
Yeah. Oh God. Then he's in that Bray doc will be pure cinema. Yeah, will.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be tough as well. It's going to be tough, I'd say.
Let's tell you what we'll do, right? Tell you what we'll do. Let's try and watch it simultaneously, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
You press play and I'll press play. We'll do it from the comforts of our own home, but we'll put the phone onto our faces and see who breaks first and sheds the first here.
It'll definitely be me.
You reckon?
100%.
Are you sure?
100%. And
hang on. Let me end this argument. Wife, you're live on the podcast. Quick question. What's my nickname in this house?
Same as Pac, is it? The bastard.
She just hollered back. You just couldn't hear her. They call me Tiny Tears.
Yeah, I'm as bad.
Tiny Tears.
We're very emotional people.
That's it.
If Dazzler could fart the alphabet, Cam would give him a big contract. We try. For that type of wedge, we try. Wyatt was an unbelievably talented character creator and storyteller. It's just a shame when he stepped between the ropes. It was dull city.
Whoa. Ted. He's gone full fucking John Connor Terminator there, hasn't he?
Oh, I tell you, that's T1000 territory, isn't it?
Can't give it to you, Ted.
Ted, after turning heel on the podcast in the chat,
give it to you, Ted.
Chat, give it to him. Give it to him, chat. Don't let him off the hook. Get it in there. Spam the chat now. Spam it now.
Yeah. He can be a bit trigger happy at times, our Ted.
Tell you. That's like one of those posts in the chat where you've left your phone down beside a mate or something, isn't it?
I've seen him pull the trigger a couple of times on Marcus Rashford when he's been offside and he's gone, you know what I mean?
Young Bucks and Can segment last night segment was awful viewing. It is, of course it is.
Anything with the Young Bucks is going to be awful viewing. Don't be silly now.
Bray Wyatt creative mind was unbelievable. It was absolutely, and the sad thing is we only seen a fraction of it.
A snippet of it,
especially with the old man was still in charge as well. I'd say he came up with some great stuff that never got to see the light of day. Lads, don't let the fact that he's passed away switch your opinion of his matches. Was great. What great matches do you remember?
There was a lot of Wyatt family stuff that was very, very good.
Yeah, I'm not going to get bogged down in the kind of funhouse stuff and the holographic stuff.
No.
Kind of stuff,
because that was all just smoke and mirrors for part of the character. But don't be Phil. Bray Wyatt could go. Absolutely, he could go. And some of the stuff we seen him do, at certain times in matches was like, whoa, this is,
Yeah, when they took the shackles off, he was very impressive, in fairness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he was a member of the Nexus. Don't forget that. Time to hit the ropes, guys. Good night. Absolutely. I like that. Time to hit the ropes. There we go. We're getting them all in tonight. Wyatt Family versus Shield was gold. It was.
Yep.
It was
Absolutely.
spot on. If Bray was working for Triple H on this creative, Bray would have showed us more. He certainly would have. We only seen a small piece of it. To play devil's advocate, that first match as The Fiend against Seth was terrible. Everything else was great.
I would say everything of The Fiend was terrible. Everything. Because we had got to a stage where, you know, you look at even the stuff he did with Orton. You know, the fucking sitting on the box and all that, man. It was just like, what are we doing here, lads? That had gone off the deep end. But for me, that was Vince. That wasn't necessarily Bray. And that's where we saw the break in things. And he was like, right, I'm out of here. I can't deal with this absolute fucking steaming pile of shite.
The business kind of went through a kind of a weird thing, doesn't it? It went through a kind of a my daughter loves when I do the muscle man dance act. There you go. Very good. Fair enough. Right, quick one. Let's talk about this. Pay-per-views are held in major cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia, as well as now twice a year in Saudi Arabia, a nation that restricts the rights of women in a way that I'm certain Vince McMahon wishes he could. Ronda Rousey in her new autobiography, Our Fight, out April the 4th. She's also said that WWE is a shit show. Now, we know that this girl and pro wrestling kind of didn't mesh. It was kind of... I was going to say,
I think Shayna Baszler looks a bit different there, doesn't she?
She's got a better tan. But, I just think it's... It'll be interesting to see. I mean, she's been quite outspoken, and she had to go off wrestling fans.
That girl meant as much to pro wrestling as the hand did that Mae Young popped out across the theater when Mark Henry was going through his sexual chocolate thing. She plays no hand actor part in wrestling.
I don't think she ever kind of bought into it, did she?
No, the fucking fans hate her. She's the personality of a wet sponge. She's been fucked out the door. It's now slammed and hit her on her ugly face. And all of a sudden, she's realised she needs a paycheck. So she's going to go and write shit about WWE in the hope to sell a couple more books because she's now a rebel with a cause. Fuck off, Ronda. You're an absolute mutant as well, by the way. I need more than 10 gargles and nothing else to go near you. The fucking state, you absolute... Oh, yes. Are you joking me? Fucking hell.
Maybe 4 or 5.
I've seen better looking Labradors. Fuck's sake.
Harsh. I remember I was at the Royal Rumble 2018, and I remember after Asuka, wasn't it, who won the Rumble, and I was heading down the gantry. I was heading down the steps, and I was nearly halfway out of the building. And this music.
Was this when she was in Colombia filming?
This is out she came. Out she came onto the stage, and loads of people were running back in. And they said, "It's Ronda Rousey," and I said, "Grand." Enjoy.
Take it easy. You enjoy being at the back of the queue. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fuck that.
He's going in hard tonight. Ronda still took the Saudi bag though. She did. She absolutely did. Yeah. It's amazing how they give out after the fact, isn't it? Ronda is as dry as just went. Love it. Ronda is the new Ryback. She was a pile of shit.
Here we go. Now we're talking. Look.
Now we're going in. Ronda and her we turkey arse.
Echoing my sentiments.
Listen, Ronda's a little moany cunt. Lost in the UFC. No humility. And in it then she went to WWE thinking this will be easy money. And it was difficult and wasn't near the level of the other girls. Absolutely. It's better looking than Ronda's.
Way too big of an ego for her level of ability. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. What else have we got? We've got.
There's no point being the baddest woman on the planet if you look like the back of a 7DNA and you don't know how to do a fucking suplex. Do you know what I mean? Fuck off. Get out of town, will you?
Right. Another book that's out. Becky's book is coming out on the 26th. The Man,
Yeah.
Not Your Average Girl. Says after she squashed Bianca Belair, she went backstage and saw Belair crying, feeling like her momentum had been killed, but passed it off as being happy for her. Becky reassured her that she'd do right by her. Her goal was to get Bianca her moment back in a big way at WrestleMania 38. Also confirmed that Vince McMahon wanted the way the squash went, in which Becky had no say. Thoughts?
Listen, good Northside girl. Why would we doubt that? And she says, it's not like she's a fucking hack like that other team. In her Mizuno fucking gi. Get fucked, will you, Ronda? Stay. At least we know with Becky, she'd knock the bollocks out of you because she's an Northsider, right? Give you now Carlsberg bottle across the back of the mallet and fucking the old Chelsea cliffs. Right?
He looks a burnt happy meal with no toy.
She looks rough at the minute.
The man is now an American citizen. I seen that. Did you see that?
She's never looked as bad, in fairness, has she?
Hanging out with Joe Biden.
Seen that.
Yeah.
Seen that. Here's a question. And I can only ask this in certain quarters. When Becky had her picture taken with Biden, yeah, Varadkar was in the building, yeah, because it was Paddy's Day.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, Leo comes home and jumps ship. What did Becky see that went on in the White House, gobble gobble, and was going to lift the lid on Leaky Leo, which made him jump? What do you think?
And being Northsiders, you should be staunch fan of all people, would you?
Did he try and get a bit too close to Seth?
Did he bring in the bowl of Shamcock?
He might. I heard a rumor today. That he brings brags or something where he goes, not balls of it. That's the rumor.
I'm sure that ring gear Becky wear cuts the softer. But yeah, the one Rhea Ripley had on that
the balls on me.
Chamber. Question for you guys: who was the worst inductee into WWE Hall of Fame? For me, hands down, it's Sharmell. Absolutely made no sense and did nothing in the wrestling business.
Well, listen. Here's the way I'd look at it, Keith. They haven't put Ronda in yet, so Sharmell's still there. But as soon as they decide to look at Ronda, which they never won't, thankfully, we'd be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Rhea looks like the Blink-182 drummer.
What a picture. Let's be honest. What a picture. Did you see her at Dom's wedding? Yeah,
she looks very well in the red dress, in fairness.
And here's another one that I'm going to just slide in there. If you were somebody who watched AEW programming or any of their stuff that you might see on their socials, yeah, there could be a case made that her man, Buddy, is one of the over guys there at the minute, doing some very good things. Oh, Buddy.
And she's doing her best. And she's doing her best to get him back.
Just saying.
Leo's resignation is because Donald Trump will be American president again.
What's that got to do with that? He was in charge when he was there last one.
That's true. Rough woman Rhea is. Bet she gives it to Buddy up the passage. So yeah, I'm going to give you a little bit of history and some notable birthdays.
Right. Jesus. That went so fairly quickly, didn't it?
Absolutely. 1985, Ivan and Nikita Koloff won the NWA World Tag Team Championships over Dusty Rhodes and Manny Fernandez in Fayetteville, North Carolina. 2002, the night after WrestleMania 18, WWF Monday Night Raw was in Montreal, Quebec. The show is most famous for the debut of one Brock Lesnar.
Wow.
There we go. 2002. We're still allowed to mention Brock, are we? 2002.
It's back at the posters, apparently.
It's on the roster, so it's all good. 2002. William Regal defeated Diamond Dallas Page to win the WWF European Championship at a SmackDown taping in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. On the same show, X-Pac joined the NWO. 1990.
Was X-Pac in the NWO or was it 6? Just saying.
Or the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Definitely wasn't the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Are they not the same? Although Hogan isn't Terry Bollea, sure he's not so. They're not the same.
No, and Mankind's not fucking Dude Love and Cactus Jack either, is he?
1994 WrestleMania 10 was held at Madison Square Garden in New York in front of 19,444 fans. This was the first WrestleMania that didn't have Hulk Hogan on the card and was the first time the WWF Championship was defended twice in one night at a WrestleMania pay-per-view.
Opening match of the night, wasn't it?
Luger
and Yokozuna? No, actually, the opening match was Brett and Owen.
That's right.
Luger and Yokozuna came out after.
1999, one of the most iconic moments of the Attitude Era took place on Monday Night Raw.
Sorry, can you just mention that year again?
Which one? 1999.
Great year. Remember United won the treble? You still haven't won it. I'm just throwing it out there. Thanks. You're welcome.
We have won a treble, not the treble.
You haven't won a treble.
We have. I have the cushion on the bed there. 2001.
What does your treble consist of?
The treble that we won was the FA Cup, the UEFA Cup, and the League Cup.
So you didn't win the treble?
No, I said we won a treble, not the treble.
There is only one fucking treble.
No.
Yeah.
How many trebles are on the dart? How many trebles are on the dartboard?
We're not playing darts now. Don't be fucking silly here or facetious, right? There is only one fucking treble.
Are you going to tell me this week in 1999 what one of the most iconic moments was in the Attitude Era?
Had it got anything to do with Mae Young and fucking Mark Henry?
No, if I said Stone Cold Steve Austin.
King of the Ring?
No. 99.
No idea.
The beer truck.
The beer truck. The beer truck.
That same night also saw the Big Show's WWE in-ring debut. Lost to Austin.
In 1999, I was 15 years of age. And at that stage...
15?
Yeah. I was born in 84.
I was 27.
Well, I was 15. And at that stage, I was still buying wrestling t-shirts in HMV because there was no Wrestling Mania. True story.
You probably still would have bought them there anyway, you selling.
Oh.
1984, Ric Flair defeated Hardy Race. Now we're talking 84 to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in Singapore. There you go. 1997, WrestleMania 13 took place at the Rosemont Horizon in suburban Chicago. The event would provide long-term fans with one of the greatest matches in the history of professional wrestling. WrestleMania 13. Stone Cold and Bret.
Right. Do you know what I'm really not good with? Dates and years.
I'm the same. I could talk gimmicks all day and moments.
Yeah, no, like, I'll talk about a match and I'll tell you, 6 minutes in, he suplexed him, landed a little bit in his neck. I can go all of that. But, don't ask me what year it was. I can never do that.
1991, WrestleMania 7 took place at the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California. Where else would it be? The key happenings of the night saw Hulk Hogan defeat Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, but don't forget, because again, this was my first WrestleMania. So after the match, remember Slaughter burnt him in the backstage in the locker room, and we saw Miss Elizabeth come back and rescue Randy from Sensational Sherry after she laid a beat down on him when he lost the career-ending match versus the Ultimate Warrior.
Which was really the main event. The Ultimate Warrior
Except it
versus
went out
Macho Man.
fucking sixth on the card.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you still remember? Do you remember Warrior's his outfit with the knee pads and all,
No.
with the faces on them and all? Fucking brilliant, brilliant. He's looking to the heavens. I can still hear Gorilla Monsoon. He's looking for an answer. He's got his answer, and I'm like, oh, so don't forget. Where are we? Would you say 97? No, what'd you say? What year was that?
91.
91. So I'm 7 years of age. And I'm like, what's the answer? I'm looking at the sky. What's going on here?
You're opening up the Velux window to see where the answer is.
Who had Veluxes in 91? You are right. Not in 91, you didn't.
It just wasn't called Velux. I still had a skylight.
There was a hole in the roof. It's different. Oh, very good.
It was the neighbour's floor.
Very good.
Right, a few notable birthdays.
Do you know what my highlight from 91 was?
What?
If I was lucky, right? In 91, I got. You remember the wrestling buddies? I got me Hogan wrestling buddy. And what I used to do was, do you remember remember those things you get when you go to a GAA game with like the two little laces tied together, which would match up two colours, yeah? You know, like the little ribbony things, yeah? So there was always like a couple of Dublin ones that I'll say floating around in the gaff or whatever. And I used to tie them onto the biceps. And I was the Ultimate Warrior, and I used to wrestle against me Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy on my man dad's bed. When they'd get out of it, because it was a bigger bed, I'd fall off the single bed. Oh, wow. Were they the times? And you'd be hitting the turnbuckles now. Nothing
How
there.
long did that go on for till they tied you to the banister rail?
I'd say at one stage they probably had to say, "Kid, I think you're probably getting a bit big for that."
As you came through the ceiling.
You know what I mean?
The dad sitting there. My visions of remember the chandelier out of Honeyfields and horses hitting the deck.
Okay, Dad, well, if you leave the keys downstairs, I'll go out and do it down the park.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. For that beer truck with Austin, I was 9, just so you feel a bit old, Niall. I do feel a bit old. I tell you, that was 1991. Ted, I was 19.
No, the beer truck wasn't 91.
Sorry, not the beer truck. Sorry, the beer truck was 99. That's even worse.
Ted, are you only 35 this year? Is that right? Couldn't be only 35 this year, is he?
25, 20, 24, and he was 9, so that'd be 10, 24. 34, he's 35 this year then, yeah?
That's what I said, yeah?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah.
I'm better at maths than dates, got to be honest with you.
We always do well in numbers. Hulk Hogan, man, has a hairline like an airport runway, 100%. I still remember Vince shouting unbelievable on commentary.
Dead.
Won't see him for much longer. It'll be all taken away. I remember all, nothing passes me. That's what reminds me of the Brooklyn Brawler. You have to get a cap on it. Yeah. Right, some notable birthdays then to finish up. This has been a fun show, I have to say, folks. Hats off to all you guys in the chat.
Hurry it up, Niall, will you, for fuck's sake?
Sorry, notable birthdays. Sorry, this is what happens on a wrestling show. It just goes on and on. These lads will keep you on to midnight. 1956, Rick the Model Martel. One half of Can-Am Connection and Strike Force as well. 1987, AJ Lee, the lovely AJ Lee, CM Punk's wife. 1959, Sting celebrates his birthday this week, and you've seen it all around socials. Funny enough, 1965, The Undertaker also celebrates his birthday this week. So we'd have a birthday versus birthday match. And then 1972, a guy who I had the pleasure of meeting, but a guy who I also witnessed injure himself, which eventually led to his death. One Chris Candido, 1972. His birthday will be this week.
Just
your word.
something crossed my mind there. Yeah, 35 this year.
Mm.
Yeah. Nothing like those good government jobs dead. Fuck
The
you know,
grind
man.
is real. The grind
Jesus.
is real.
Something that when you mentioned Sting there, something that I go back to was when the match was finished, his last match, yeah,
Mm.
and Tony Schiavone was outside on commentary, yeah. He said, "Guys, who wants me to say it again? Who wants me to say it's Sting?" Right? And then he stops and goes, "Hey Tony, how much you pay me for this?" And I was like,
Brilliant. Brilliant.
"Tony, how much is this gonna?" I was like, "Is this fucking for real?" Can you imagine someone shouting back to Gorilla and saying, "Hey Vince, this has got to be an extra worth an extra $1.50, right?" He'd have come down the fucking ramp and ended your man in the middle of the blading ring.
Worked for Warrior.
Fuck, you know. Did it? Did it?
He got paid.
Short-term pain for long-term gain.
Love this show. Yeah, absolutely, Romy. Yeah, we've had a great show tonight. It's been great fun. Really enjoyed it. The chat was electric tonight. Everything was electric tonight. So good. But yeah, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, drop a like on the video, and of course, as always, check out the other shows that are out there, all the reviews for Dark Side of the Ring and all that. I will be back probably on Monday with Mark. What we're going to talk about yet, I don't know. Probably some international.
I was going to say, not a fucking lot.
just
Just take the bank holiday off. Give yourself the bank holiday. Don't put yourself through that fucking international shit.
The bank holiday isn't this weekend.
Through that home.
Next weekend. So.
Yeah, but we've Premier League action that weekend, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, so I have to do the show then on the bank holiday. That's about talking about wrestling and taking orders. And Stone Cold ET. White Castle. New Orleans kit is out on Monday. Yeah, I'll be queuing up for it.
Launches in the morning, tomorrow, 9 a.m.
I'll send you a link, Azers, where you can get it for a fraction of the price. Great show as we are over it now, folks.
Except on the front of it, it doesn't say Sky in the middle of it. It says Dodgy Box.
It says Sky backwards. Absolutely. Listen, pleasure as always. Thanks for coming on. Really enjoyed it. It was well worth waiting the extra day. I hope everyone enjoyed it in the chat as well. And we will talk to you again real soon. Cheers.